Kopech. The two of us lived in this 2006 Honda Element for 8 months. I have in the past made some videos touring the inside of my Element and the various components that go into it, but I wanted to take some time today to go into a little more detail for a few things, namely the bed and the shelf on the side here. So this video is going to be primarily about the bed. I'm going to cover kind of the way it works, the design features, why it's designed that way. So let's get into it. So first I'm just going to show you the bed in its two modes. We have bench mode and bed mode. So this right now you can see is bench mode. It's got space for me to sit down, and I'm right across from my shelf here, so I can access everything on my shelf from sitting in bench mode, including my little drop down table that I have here. And then this is bed mode, and as you can see it spans all the way from the wall to my shelf over here. So this is what it looks like when it doesn't have any of the cushions on it. So the way that it works, it has basically two separate pieces. It's got a back piece and a front piece. So when you're in bench mode, the two pieces are kind of pushed together towards the back, and then you have the cushion that rests here and the cushion that rests here. When you're in bed mode, you pull it out, and these interlocking slats provide support for the bed. So every other slat is attached either to the front piece or the back piece. So we have front piece, back piece, front piece, back piece, front piece, back piece, and so on. And that's the basic way that this works. There are a few other little things that go into it that make it function a little easier, and I'll show you those now. So this strip that goes along right here is connected to our front piece, and what that does is prevents the front piece from falling back into the back piece here. I didn't have this on for a while, and I had trouble with pushing the bench back in because it would tilt up and tuck underneath rather than going right over the top. So I found a nice 1/4 inch piece of wood that I just put over the top of it, and now it slides over perfectly. The other piece that helps with its function is this strip that goes right along the front here. Again, it's just a 1/4 inch piece of wood that I have stick up above the bench platform, about a 1/4 inch. The reason for that is that the cushions have a 1/4 inch sheet of masonite attached to them, which I'll get into a little bit later. And this prevents the cushions from sliding off to the side. Before I put this in, I'd go around a corner and Kopech and all the cushions would go flying into the shelf over here, but now that this is here, it prevents everything from falling off. So the way that the whole unit is held in place is very simple. I didn't want to drill into the frame of my car at all, so I have literally just attached it with zip ties. We've got 2 zip ties attached to a little pocket that's down here, and then some more zip ties right here to a little tie down anchor that's in a Honda Element. And that's all it is that holds it in, and I don't have any issues with it sliding around or getting torqued or anything like that. So didn't have to do anything fancy to get it in there. As far as the dimension of the bench here, it is about a foot off the floor of the Element. It's 19.5 inches from the back here to the front edge, and it is 50 inches long. And you may be thinking, like, 50 inches long is not nearly long enough for a bed unless you're 4'2". So I have an additional piece up here that I'll show you. In a previous video, I had demonstrated this portion of the bed, but I did it from the outside, so there's a little bit of view, but I do want to show that it is possible to do this portion from the inside. So what you do is you come up here, push the passenger seat forward, then you take this little platform here, and it's cut to fit right into a little groove in the cup holder up here, where it stays nice and steady. Then you take the leaf here out, and you just kind of set it on top of the box and the little platform, and that pushes right up against the other part of the bed, the bench part of the bed. So this additional leaf here provides 27 inches on the end of the bench, making it 77 inches total. So 6'3", and I'm 5'11", so it's enough space for me. I also want to talk a little bit more about the cushions that I have here. I custom ordered some foam pieces from a company called Foam Factory. It's foambymail.com if I'm not mistaken, and they'll cut it to any size that you want. So I made the pieces for my bench and the extra platform in the back. And then I cut out a sheet of masonite, which is like a composite material, and put it as a backer here so that they stay kind of rigid, and it provides a little more support when you're laying in bed. And then the masonite also serves as a way to upholster it. I've just basically taken a bed sheet and wrapped it like a Christmas present and stapled it to the sheet of masonite in the back. And that's the entirety of my cushions here. So that is the gist of how my bench bed works. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments and I'll try to get back to them. And if you want to see my shelf video, I'll probably be putting it out in a few weeks or so. So you can subscribe or come back and check it out. Thanks.